Alright, what are we doing here? Well, welcome. I'm Kinglink, and this is going to be the yearly state of the channel and website. Only just 2 months late here. Now, I've been delaying this for quite some time because I wanted to solidify a few things and not jinx them. Admittedly, E3 did get in the way, and other stuff, well, let's talk about everything. On screen, though, we'll be showing Wolfenstein II, or Wolfenstein 2 if you really want to be pedantic. I hate Nazis, controversial 2018 opinion there, and it looks a lot better than what you're used to on my channel, I'm sure. So, welcome to the future, or rather, you can welcome me to the future. I will talk about that a little later. Some small hardware changes have happened, maybe big ones, all positive, of course. Let's start with the big news, though. Well, first, as everyone always does in these things, we have 350 subscribers. Woohoo! That's not a ton, but when I started this thing, I was only aiming for 100 a year ago. So really, I've done a great job. 3 times as many. I've been doing YouTube for just over a year, like I said, and it's odd, but I'm kind of enjoying it, making my own videos. So the real big news, the reason why I've been delayed. I started my site and channel as a game developer who also reviewed games. I've talked about, honest game reviews. I've talked about adding my voice to, criticism of games or just issues, and I'm here doing that still. However, I have talked about my 12 years in the game industry. I haven't updated that, and, I've got a feeling that's really going to be it. Officially, I've left the video game industry. Kinglink is out. There's a lot of reasons for it, and I'm not going to be changing my channel or, talking about, like, bashing the industry constantly like some channels have recently. I do have opinions on the industry, and since those are probably going to be asked about, uh, quick version is crunch is bad, but honestly, I don't think many developers think it's good. Unionizing isn't going to be a solution for it like people think. It's not just this magic bullet that people think it is, but I don't want to go too far into that in this video. And in general, the biggest problem in the game industry is that it has too many people who want to make games, so that's always going to be a problem with all these solutions. I'm going to leave that there for this time. I really don't need to talk about it too much here. It's a much bigger story. A lot of people have covered it, maybe not as well as I wish. Maybe I'll talk about it some other time, though. So, why did I leave the industry? Well, it's a variety of factors. So, I wanted to do something different than my last job. Alright, here we go. I was at Sony working on MLB The Show for about 6 years. I had a hand in 7 games. Truthfully, I shipped 6 of them, started working in pre-prod on 1. And I was working on the networking and server teams. Show Live was a major feature of mine, and honestly, it was time for me to move on. Shipping a yearly title is completely fine, and anyone who does it, kudos to them, but I had enough after 6 titles. I was done. Now, crunch may not be the reason that I left, though I will say that I had enough interviews where it was clear that the developers wanted heavy commitments or weekend hours to catch up. It was all freaking code for crunch or 60-hour weeks, and that's how you're starting. I wasn't willing to commit to that or accept that or act like it was the greatest thing I've heard. And it's kind of funny some of the reactions I got when I didn't thank them for that option immediately and go, thank you for making me work so much. One owner of a company actually, as I clearly was not interested, stood up and walked out of the room a couple minutes later and let the other people finish the interview. Bad sign, but honestly, with the way he was phrasing it, no question, I didn't want that. And the fact is, I didn't get those jobs. I didn't even get an option. And the thing is, you can take from that what you will, but I wasn't even going to accept them. In addition, there was a couple other places I did want, and the thing is, the game industry really wants specialized skills. Like, one of the biggest names in the industry wanted people who handled, a million users concurrently. Problem is, no one in this industry deals with that level of customers. You know, Maybe their company, their parent company, and their rival, but that's about it. Another company made me go through a month-long process of interviews and evaluations before telling me that they wanted someone with a shipped Unreal title. I never said I had that. I said at most I had dabbled in it for about a month. That's it, and they just decided to waste my time. Now, I'm also happy in Southern California. If you don't know, I'm in San Diego. So I wasn't ready to move, and let's be honest, I like money. I think most people do. So I can tell you as a programmer, by leaving the industry, I actually got a pretty nice pay bump. I left the game industry and I'm making about 35% more just from that move alone. And the first company I negotiated with, I got a good salary. That's what I went with. I've been working on better projects, more interesting technologies, not shipping the same thing every year or even a similar game, when you're making sequels every 3 to 4 years. It seems like this company works a solid 40-hour week. You're not working 60, 70 hours out of nowhere. And truthfully, I've only had a week with them, but they seem a lot better. And in addition, I also want to just brag about this. My commute went from 20 minutes to an hour in bad San Diego traffic to 5 to 7 minutes in, bad cross street traffic. I'm not even joking about this. I work under 2 miles from my house. It's absolutely heaven. If you've never done that, I can't even explain it. So, officially, what does this all mean? Why have I been blathering on? I am an ex-game dev, still a programmer, still have all 12 years of experience, still a huge fan of video games, but yeah, I'm out of the game industry, and honestly, I am very happy with that decision. So that's really the major news. A lot of that just got finalized. That's why I've been waiting for this. Like I said, started last week. But I was waiting on that. I'm not going to name my new company. It's in telecommunications, though. I'm still a network engineer. It's sort of a lateral move, sort of not, like working on a different layer. But wicked cool, in my opinion. But I'm working more from this. There was a small gap between jobs that allowed me to focus on the channel. That's over, unfortunately, or fortunately. And I'm working more than I was. That's not going to change too much, though. But I have been averaging a review every 3 to 4 days between, major videos. Just expect a small increase. Playing a full game will take me longer, of course. Maybe 5, maybe 6, possibly 7 days between reviews might happen. I'm thinking of doing a little more discussion videos, maybe, depending on how my time figures out. It's going to take me a while to get there. You should be getting something each week from me, though. Now, the other step I'm taking, I'm not going to be playing shit. Let's be honest. I played Styx Shard of Darkness. I really did not enjoy it. I'm stopping and moving on. I'm not reviewing it by itself. Maybe I will if I run out of stuff. I might just put it in a pile and every so often, shake out 3 or 4 games that I didn't finish and give them a short review why. That might be a way to do that. I do like to say I finished every game I reviewed. I probably will be changing that policy as well. Personally, right now, I just finished playing Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I still want to review it, but I have only about 50% of the main story done. I'll always be upfront about games I haven't fully beat, but I do want to cover games. And I also don't want to overplay games that, I'm not loving. Time is a quantity, and we all don't have an infinite supply. That's the hard fact of life. Now, if you're really worried about it, I do like Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Limited time just means I want to play different games or more games, especially if I'm not absolutely loving something. Now, with all that said, let's move on to one more interesting fact. This is something a little bit different. You're already seeing it on the screen. This sexy beast is my new hardware. This is absolutely dumb, but damn it if it's the most ostentatious thing I've probably ever owned. So this is the LED lights that came with my new system. Enjoy the show. I'm going to be playing with it a bit, changing the lights, trying out a few of the buttons. And let me talk the simple specs. I'll be putting a link in the description if you really want to know, but not like anyone actually reads those things. It's a CyberPower PC. It has a Ryzen 2700X with a GeForce RTX 2070 or 2070 if you really want to hear it that way. It's really not bad. I actually got a great price on it, a couple $100 off, and yeah, my games are going to run a lot better. But here's the thing. That's not the only thing I got. In fact, I picked it up because of one feature and one thing I wanted. So yeah, this doesn't look as cool as it is. It doesn't have LEDs or anything, but this is of course an Oculus Rift S. If you haven't seen one before, that's what it is. Now, the CyberPower PC was Oculus ready, whatever that really means. Truthfully, I think it's video card level, DisplayPort, and USB 3 enabled, but whatever. For me, though, it means I'm hitting the virtual worlds, baby. It's fun. I just got it. I haven't played too much with it. Mostly just set it up last night to try it out. And I wanted to make this video, but truthfully, I'm enjoying it so far. I really think it's awesome. But I did get this PC for a couple reasons, minor upgrade, and mostly to play with this. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to start talking only about VR games. I'm just showing this off. I actually think I'll probably cover a few at a time, unless something really stands out or is substantial. I might talk about a certain game that I absolutely love that was just in a humble monthly bundle, for instance, Hellblade's VR mode. The goal, though, is to cover different content. Don't worry, non VR games will likely be the core of this channel as always. The Rift will definitely be the novelty. The fact is, I came back from E3 and I was like, man, I really want to see what VR can do. Sniper Elite VR and Wolfenstein Cyberpilot was really cool. So that's really it. I will say, with the PC, I actually got Division 2. I got Wolfenstein Youngblood from buying the computer, which means those will definitely be coming up. I'm playing Wolfenstein 2 right now. That's coming. And I also did get World War Z. I just don't think I'm going to cover that, though. So that is the quick version of the channel update. I'm sure most of you are afraid of the full version. If you do have questions, if you're curious about anything, we can make the comments section, or really any comment section, a Q&A. Feel free to ask whatever's on your mind. I'll try to answer it. You know, I'm not going to name my new company. It's unimportant and it's out of the gaming space. There's some stuff I'm just not going to share about Sony or MLB The Show. You know, I'm probably still under the NDA. I probably don't have the right to talk about certain things. I still like the team, and I have a lot of friends there. So they're good people. They make a great game. And like I said, I did 6 years of it. I really just didn't want to do a seventh. It was time for me to go. But I'm pretty much willing to talk about anything else, so feel free to ask away. Reviews will be out soon, and the Humble Monthly Bundle preview will also be coming up around the time this video comes out, so keep an eye out for that. Until then, as always, I am Kinglink, and thank you very much for watching.